every recruiting cycle, I watch the same thing happen. A talented athlete, someone who can absolutely play at the next level, gets passed over. Not by one school, by dozens. And the parents are left asking the same question: what happened? My kid's good enough to play. But here's what I've learned after 31 years of sitting in a gym, on that sideline, and in a coaches meeting where recruiting boards get built and roster spots get filled. It's almost never about talent. It's about a handful of mistakes, the same ones over and over, that quietly take an athlete off a coach's radar before they ever really get a look. So today, I'm going to walk you through the biggest mistakes I see families make in this process, and more importantly, exactly how to fix each one. Some of these might be happening in your recruiting journey right now, and you won't even realize it until I say it out loud. Before we get into these mistakes, I'm going to put something in your hands. I built a free resource called the College Recruiting Jumpstart Pack. It's 4 guides in one, and it walks you through these exact mistakes in more detail, along with a 7-day action plan you can start using immediately to build real momentum. It's completely free. There's a link below this video. And if you're serious about getting this process right, that's your starting point. And everything we cover today is going to connect you directly back to it. So grab it and then come back and let's get into it. But for those who don't know me, I'm Coach Keith Mondillo. And I just finished my 31st year as an NCAA Director of Athletics and head college basketball coach. I've sat on recruiting calls, built recruiting boards, evaluated thousands of prospects, and made the actual decisions about who gets a roster spot and who doesn't. I've seen this process from every angle. I've also been a parent navigating recruiting for my own kids. So I understand the stress, the confusion, and the questions that come with this from the family side. Everything I'm about to share comes directly from that experience. So let's get into the mistakes. Mistake number 1, waiting to be discovered. This is the biggest one, and I see it consistently. Families assume that if their athlete's good enough, the coach will just find them. So they show up to events, play hard, and wait. Here's the reality. The reality is, I've been to the Atlantic City Convention Center numerous times for live events. 40 courts running games at the same time all weekend. Think about that. Even with the full coaching staff, there's no way that coaching staff can cover 40 courts Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's physically impossible. If a coach doesn't know where to find you, doesn't know your schedule, doesn't know what to look for, your performance might as well happen in an empty gym. The fix is simple. You have to reach out first. Tell coaches where you'll be, when, and what to expect. Don't wait to be found. Make sure you are findable. Mistake number 2, not following up. This is just as common, and it's heartbreaking because families take silence personally. They send one email to a coach, hear nothing back, and assume the coach is not interested. And here's what's actually happening most of the time. In Divisions 2 and 3, coaches are wearing multiple hats. They're coaching, recruiting, sometimes teaching, sometimes running other administrative duties for the athletic department. Things fall through the cracks, not because they don't care, because they're stretched thin. And silence does not mean no. And the fix is to follow up. A respectful check-in, an updated highlight clip, a quick note about an upcoming event. Stay on a coach's radar isn't pushy. It's often exactly what gets you noticed in the first place. Mistake number 3, no honest self-assessment. And here's one that's tough to hear, but it really matters. It's okay to dream big. It's okay to target schools that feel like a reach, but your target school list has to be built on where your athlete is right now, not where you hope to be in a year. I see families build lists entirely around the name of the school or the level they wish they were playing at, instead of an honest look at their athlete's current film, stats, and grades. The fix is exactly what we cover in the 4-part fit test video. Build your list based on realistic athletic fit today, while leaving room for development. Dream big, but plan honestly. And if you want a full framework for building that list the right way, that's exactly what I cover in my book, The Athletic Recruiting Roadmap. I'll link it below. Take a look at it. It's the foundation for everything that we teach. Mistake number 4, ignoring academics. The last one, and it ties everything together. Too many families treat academics as a separate conversation from recruiting, something to worry about later, or something the school will figure out once an offer's on the table. Well, it doesn't work that way. Your GPA, your core courses, your eligibility, these are part of your recruiting profile. Coaches notice. And at the Division II and Division III levels, especially, academics can open doors that athletics alone cannot. The fix is simple. Treat your transcripts with the same seriousness as your highlight video. Both are being evaluated. So let's recap the 4 mistakes. Waiting to be discovered instead of reaching out, not following up when you hear silence, skipping an honest self-assessment when building your school list, and treating academics as an afterthought. Fix these 4 things, and you're already ahead of most families going through this process. And again, if you want help putting this all into action, go and download my free College Recruiting Jumpstart Pack. Use the link below. It's completely free, and go get it before this video ends. And again, I'm Coach Keith Mondillo. Let's get your athlete moving in the right direction. Take care, and I'll see you soon.